All right, so these ones are solving absolute value inequalities, and in fact, if you look at the Alex explanation, they're going to tell you two different ways to do it depending on whether this is a greater than or a less than sign. Absolute value, remember, is a distance. If it's greater than, you're more than 6 places away from wherever the middle of this is, and it ends up being an or problem. I'm going this way or this way. If it's a less than, I'm less than 6 places from the middle, and it ends up being an and, where I'm between the two numbers. Well, you could remember that, or you can just do this. We're doing an absolute value problem. We know we're going to have the two cases, like they like to call them. The first one is the exact same problem. So 4x minus 2 is greater than 6. The second one, when you do the negative, you're just going to reverse your inequality symbol. So the 4x minus 2 will stay the same, but instead of being greater than 6, we're going to do is less than negative 6. And then you just solve them like you normally solve everything else. So I would add my 2, 4x is greater than 8, and divide by 4, so x is greater than 2. Same thing on the other one. I'm going to add my 2, 4x would be less than negative 4, divide by 4, x is less than negative 1. Then you're just going to graph it. You don't really have to worry about if it's an and or an or if you just follow your answers there. So x is greater than 2. I have an open circle around the 2. X is less than negative 1. I have an open circle around the negative 1. Greater than the 2, less than the negative 1. And you can see that, oh, yep, it ended up being the opposite directions, since it should, since it's a greater than. So again, on this one, I don't really worry about if it's going to be an and or an or. I know it is an and, but I just say, okay, 6x plus 9 is less than or equal to 15, which is my original problem without the absolute value. And then I do the 6x plus 9 and switch my sign, so greater than or equal to negative 15. Question?
My problem is different.
It is.
Yeah, I have 3x plus 14 is less than or equal to 5.
Which one is the one that's not going to work out right? 6. Well, let's work this one out and then we'll check. Other people type these for me, then I have them on a flash drive and this and that, and then I get in class and the problem doesn't work out right and I change it, but I didn't get changed everywhere. So I may have made the wrong copy. We'll find out. So if we solve this one, we're going to subtract our 9. So we're going to get 6x is less than or equal to 6. And if I divide by 6, x is less than or equal to 1, right? On the other one, if we subtract our 9, 6x would be greater than or equal to negative 24. And if I divide by 6, x is greater than or, 6. I was thinking I had to flip it, but I divided by 6. X is greater than or equal to negative 4. Let's see, on that one, if I subtracted my 14, I was just trying to see if it comes out to a weird answer. Trying to work upside down. 5 minus 14 divided by 3, that comes out okay. And it would be negative 5 minus 14. No, that comes out to 19. Yeah, I probably copied the wrong paper. Switch it to this problem because it comes out right. Otherwise it comes out to a fraction, and yeah, none of them on Alex will. So we will have a filled in dot on the 1. We will have a filled in dot on the negative 4. We are less than 1, greater than the negative 4. So we end up shading between the two dots. myself a note. So I make get the right one in the packet. All right, so number 3, do you have the same one there, or is that different?
That's it.
Okay, so this one must have worked out right. My 2 problems then, if I'm going to solve this one, would be what?
Negative 2x plus 7 is greater than or equal to 3.
And?
Negative 2x plus 7 is less than or equal to negative 3.
Exactly. So the original problem, and then flipping my sign, doing the negative. So solving that, if I solve that, I would minus my 7, and I get
Negative 4.
negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4. When I divide by negative 2, I would get
X is less than or equal to 2.
x is less than or equal to 2. Because I divided by a negative, I have to flip my sign. On the other one, again, I'm going to minus my 7. So negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 10. And when I divide by negative 2, my answer is
X is greater than or equal to 5.
x is greater than or equal to 5. So our end marks, we have filled in dots at 2 and 5. I am less than the 2, greater than or equal to the 5. And so you can see, yep, it ended up going in the 2 opposite directions like it should, because there was a greater than to begin with up there.